Okay, so as what have been shared earlier, this morning we will have the first session of e-learning clinic, and it is an honor for me to have a numbers of speakers volunteered for this e-learning clinic 2.0, in which today will be the first day of the session, which is this morning will be the first of the session, and then we will have about 7 sessions all in total. So this just especially for today, we have 2 sessions. So this morning as well as 2 p.m. this afternoon. Okay. Okay.
I'm actually logged in as you, you know.
Okay. So sorry, I have to turn off the YouTube for a while, but everyone in the YouTube, you still can stream the video. It's just that I keep hearing my voice, so just to make sure it doesn't, I don't hear the feedback. So I just want to make sure everybody can hear me, right? Yep. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so just introduce, I would like to introduce the first speaker, which is Dr. Ma'an. Dr. Ma'an is one of Educator 4.0 members. He is the faculty members of Kuliah of Engineering. And in this morning, we will focus on Google Meet and Google Calendar. The detail of the sessions, just want to share, we have a few platforms which will be exposed in e-learning clinic 2.0, starting with the Google products and some other product. This afternoon, we will have a look at the Adobe product, but I need to make it clear that it's not that we are advocating certain platform. What we want to provide is basically a few possible options in which you can explore and see whether it might be suitable for your class and course. Okay, just want to highlight a few netiquette or internet etiquette when it comes to webinars. I really appreciate if you can keep your microphone mute throughout the session so we can focus on the speaker's presentations. At the end of the session, you can access the recording sessions, which is, it will be recorded once the speaker is presented. Currently, I'm pausing the recording, but as soon as the session start, we'll start the recording, and I really appreciate if we can allow the speakers to present his talk first, and during the question and answer, you can activate your microphone. Okay, thank you very much, Jazakumullah khair, and let me pass the session to Dr. Ma'an. Dr. Ma'an, the session is yours. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Ma'an. Dr. Ma'an, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. All right, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. And Ramadan Mubarak to all. Salamat berpuasa. So our session today, inshallah, will be on Google Meet. But before I start, let me just share with you what has been going on lately after going through this MCO for 1 month, and now we are going through another 2 weeks. We've been talking about disruptive technology, and now we didn't expect to have a disruptive virus that will disrupt our life completely. And we as educators are not excluded from this disruptive. I think the education sector was one of the first to be closing its doors because of this pandemic. And eventually, because we are in universities are kind of dynamic institutions, we have to very quickly adapt to these changes. Alhamdulillah, there have been quite extensive number of webinars on the web organized by various institutions. I have attended a few of them. Actually, I've attended many of them, and I have learned many new things as we are trying to improve and sharpen our e-learning skills. Well, I believe some of us were quite reluctant to go for e-learning. However, now the time comes that we have no choice but to go for e-learning. Before I start, let me warn you, okay? It's a warning to all of you that Google Meet is just a platform, it's just a tool. It's one of the tools, the many tools that are available. Like Dr. Mira said, we are using Zoom to learn about Google Meet. That's quite interesting. And so it's just, we are just trying to expose ourselves to all the available platforms. So when we say Google Meet or Zoom or Microsoft Teams, all these are tools. When we say tools, it means that we have to work them in two ways. Number one, we have to learn how to use them. And this is why we have this session today. And the other thing is that we can't just embark on using these platforms. Otherwise, we would have issues later on. So actually, as the phrase says, if we fail to plan, that means we plan to fail. So we need actually to plan very, very well for the sessions, the online sessions or the e-learning sessions, including Google Meet, so that we need to identify what is it that we want to present to the students, what are the things that we want to keep for other platforms. So as you know, we have the synchronous and asynchronous. So this is a synchronous session, and we have the asynchronous where we upload the materials on the various platforms, the LMS, like iTalim and so on. We can't just start Google Meet and say, students, come, let's have a session. We need to plan for that very well. It's like we are planning for our face-to-face session. Okay, now before I start, is there any questions from the respectful colleagues and participants?
It's just, if you don't mind, Dr. Ma'an, the camera is a little bit off.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
All right. No, I'm trying to hide my mouth. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, if there is no questions, let me first kindly request from you to mute your mics. And actually, this is to enable everyone to hear clearly, because if you're on your mic, there will be some echoes in the background of our various laptops and computers. So let's be kind to each other and help facilitate this session smoothly to everyone. And if you have any questions, you can, through the session, please drop them at the chat room, and then I will be checking them bit by bit to see if I can answer them. Now, the session will be in two parts. The first one is on how do we prepare for the invitation for Google Meet to create the Google Meet code. And I will do this through the Google Calendar. There is another way, which is through also Google Classroom, but I'm not going to cover it today. I'm going to share with you the links to the YouTube that I have prepared on this. I have prepared how to conduct these sessions, how to generate the invitation using Google Classroom. One through on the internet, and the other one is using mobile. So this is, I'm sharing now this with you on the chat room, so you can access this YouTube later on to see how to generate your Google Meet invitation through Google Classroom. Because if you have Google Classroom, actually it will be easier to manage this. Okay, so let me start sharing my screen with you so you can see what I'm going to do to prepare for the invitation of Google Classroom. Let me share my Chrome. Okay. So do you see my Chrome? If you can see my Google
Yes,
Chrome,
yes.
please type yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so to start the invitation, I will go to Google Calendar, and I believe that many of us have used Google Calendar. We can access it from the Google app. Let me bring this smaller. Okay. So this is Google Calendar. I'm doing the steps from the beginning so that if you have any questions, you can ask later on. All right, so I have to sign in, and please don't say my password, and don't copy my password. All right. Okay, so as you might know, in Google Calendar, if you want to start an event, you just click anywhere at the time that you have the event. Let's say it's today, 27, and then it's just a test. And say it's 27, I want it to be maybe at say 2:30. And as you can see here, I can add guests. And we have two options here. This is actually new. Last week, it was not like this. Surprisingly, last week it was together. You add rooms or location or conferencing. But Google, the past few days, maybe they changed this and they put at Google Meet video conferencing on a separate icon or line. So I want to go to more options so I can better organize my calendar event or my event calendar. Now, if I want to conduct this meeting on Google Meet, I would want to add Google Meet conferencing. And when I click here, then this new message will appear. So if I click on join with Google Meet, I will immediately be transferred to the Google Meet window, but I'm not going to do this now. And as you can see, this is the code for the Google Meet. You can copy this code and share with your participants or your students via WhatsApp or Telegram or your LMS. And we have even other options actually that we can do here. So this is the meeting ID. You can edit it if you want. And this is if you want to join the meeting using a phone, but that will be chargeable. Another interesting features that we have, because we in IIM, we registered with G Suite, is that we can add live stream. If I click on add live stream, then a link will be generated, and you can share this link with participants. But we have to understand that this link, using this link, you cannot be actively involved. You will be just watching the session. You cannot send any messages to the chat room or share or present during using the live stream session. So you can copy this and put it into YouTube, like we are doing with this session. So your session can be live streaming, or you can share it even on Facebook for your participants or your students. All right. So now I already generated the Google Meet, but I'm not going to access it from here. As you know, for those who know, we can put a reminder. This is a notification I can receive before the meeting to prepare myself. I can say I want it to be 15 minutes, or even I can want it to be like in 1 day before. And I can even add another notification. I want 1 day before, and I want it to be half an hour or 30 minutes before, so I can log in and prepare. All right, so that's on. This is just kind of a reminder for yourself to receive a notification. To prepare for the meeting, there is another interesting feature, which is your ability to add attachment. Actually, if you want to invite for a meeting, even face-to-face meeting, and you want to send the invitation via Google Calendar, you can do this by attaching documents to your email. So let's say the previous minutes of meeting of the minutes of meeting of the previous or last meeting, or you want to attach some documents for the participant to have a look before the meeting. That is for face-to-face meeting. For Google Meet, if you add attachment, if you click on add attachment and add the files that you want your participant to see. So you can add either from recent files. This is the recent files I have opened. You can add from your Google Drive, the shared drives on your Google Drive, or the drive that or files shared with you on Google Drive. So all these are options for Google Drive. You can even upload from your computer. Let's say your presentation is on your USB, you can drag the file and put it here, or you can select it from your device. If I click here, I can go to my computer, and then I will access to my my folder, and then I can add the files accordingly. All right, so if I add, let me just add a file here and select. So now this file is added to the attachment, and that file will be available in the Google Meet, as we will see later on. All right. Any questions so far before I proceed on these steps? Any questions from the participants? Okay. All right. So no questions. I proceed.
Doctor, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
What is the limitation of the size for the file for attachment?
Actually, these files can be on it will go to your Google Drive.
I see.
So you can share any file because it's on Google Drive.
All right. Thank you so much.
Right. No problem. That's the beauty of using Google Meet with the calendar, because it's actually allow you to synchronize all your documents, your PowerPoint presentations, and so on under Google Suite. All right. So that is on the attachment. So these files, we will see how they will look like later on our Google Meet.
Sorry, Prof. Faisal here.
Yes, Professor.
Just a quick question. If we are using Google Classroom, there
Yes.
is a link that they give for Google Meet.
Yes.
So can we, if we're going to invite, so how do we go about? We just copy that link?
No, you don't need to copy the link, because if you do the link through Google Classroom, it will be sent to the students who are on the Google Classroom.
So we must add them as attendees first.
Yeah, of course. Google Classroom, you have to add them to you share with them the code of the classroom, and then they will join the classroom. And then when you actually add that option of having Google Meet, you attach your Google Classroom with Google Meet, the link will be there. And at any time they can open the classroom, the Google Classroom, and just click on the link and join the meeting. You don't have to. You don't have to go anywhere. It's from the Google Classroom. All right. If we have time, I might show this, but I already shared the YouTube on the chat room. You can go through and later on. And if you have any questions, you can please feel free to email me or ask later on.
Thank you so much.
No problem. You're welcome. All right. So now for the Google Meet, we have few options. I can just save and that's it, because I can copy the link and share it. Or I can add guests, like similar to Google Calendar. Should I invite Prof. Ahmad Faris Ismail to this? Let me invite myself. All right, so now I invited myself as a guest. Now, what is the privilege of adding the guests here? If the guests or the participants are within IIUM, they can admit to the meeting easily because they are on the same organization which has subscribed to Google Suite. But if, let's say, this email of mine is from outside the organization, if I join using the code, I will need a permission from the host to allow me to admit or enter the meeting. All right. So adding the names or the emails here it will actually reduce your burden of if, let's say, you have 30 participants and every time they'll come in, you will have a message popping up asking you to allow to add. So if they come, let's say, 5 minutes before time, that's fine. But if they come after the meeting have started, that will quietly disturb the session. So adding them here will reduce that burden of having to approve adding them all the time. If, let's say, you have a Google Classroom also, you can actually add it here. So I have this Google Classroom. If I click here, the invitation will go to all my students who are on this classroom. This is another way of inviting your students on Google Classroom. But since Google added the feature like a few weeks ago, they added the feature to Google Classroom, then you don't have to do it from here. You can do it directly from your Google Classroom. But this is another option for us to add the students from Google, if you have your Google Classroom. So this is my Google Classroom. I already have it. That's why I managed to see it. I can see it here. If you don't have the Google Classroom, you can't see it on your guests, because it will eventually synchronize all this together. Just an added information for those who are not familiar. These are some options that you might want to look at, because sometimes we have students, we have to be to monitor what kind of privileges we give. So as you can see, we can allow guests to modify events, so they can change the time. So if you don't want, you just untick. They can invite others. So if you don't want them to invite others, you untick, and they can see the guest list. So you can also, when you receive the email or the invitation, you can see the list of all the invitees. If you don't want them to do so, then you can uncheck. All right. So these are kind of features you might want to add. And here also we can add a description. I will say, Salam students, please read this material before the class. So they will receive this description or notification to their email and invitation. All right, so let me first remove the class. Now, when I save, you will receive this message. Would you like to send an invitation emails to Google Calendar guests? If I say send, they will receive that to their calendar, and they will even receive the notification of the meeting according to your calendar. If you don't want it to be sent, you can just say don't send. All right. And there is another notification here, which is also important. It says that because you are having guests from outside your organization, so they will want to confirm, do you really want to invite an external guest? Because my email is not within the other email I used is from outside IIUM. So I say, okay, invite. And here, another message pops up, which is on the shared files, because you are sharing files. So they are asking you, you want to share this file as view, or you want it to be a comment, or you want them to be able to edit the file. So if, let's say, this file is kind of a file that you want to share with the students and you want them to work on it during the session, the online session, then you want to grant them a permission to edit the file so they can access and start editing and typing, whatever. Or if you want them just to write their comment on let's say you provide a problem, an engineering problem, and you want them to comment on what do you think are the wrong steps in this problem or solution, then they will start writing comments. They cannot edit the document, but they can just write comment. This is the same feature we have in Microsoft Word, where you can do kind of when you do a review of a document, you just put your comments so the person can see the comments and edit the comments accordingly. All right, so this is up to your, what do you want them to do with the file? If you just for view, just leave it as it is, and then you invite, and so again, this is a reminder that you are sharing this file outside your organization. Okay, I got it, and so invite. All right, and now the meeting is on my Google Calendar. All right, so now the meeting is set there, and I'm ready to have the meeting at 2:30, and after this we will go to Google Meet window and see how we will access to Google Meet and run the session. Before I proceed, any questions? Am I going fast? Am I okay?
You're okay. You're okay. Good.
All right. Thank you very much.
Walaikum, Prof.
Salam rahmatullah.
Could you
Yes.
please repeat how to add invite our classroom that we have?
Okay, sure. Let me go back and edit the event. Okay, now I have my classroom. I already have my Google Classroom, and because all these two platforms are on the Google Suite, so they synchronize all together. All right. So my classes under my department all under BTEN. So these are the classes I have. All right. If your class starts with another name, then you can just type. All right. I have classes which are like separation. All right. So these are the classes. So when you type the class name as you name it on Google Classroom, the options will come and you just click. All right, and it's added like you add any guest. In fact, if you have a group, an email group on your email, let's say I have a group, I call it Nanorg. This group, if I just click here, the email will go to the group. You can search by group, by individual, and by Google Classroom. I hope that answers your question. Yes?
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, so I don't want to save this. Okay, so if you have no other questions, let me log out from this because I want to show you how the screen will look like when I'm not logged in. All right. I will log in with 3 different accounts so you can see how the screen will look like and how you manage all the participants. So this is the Google Meet screen. As you can see, it starts here with this screen, by the way, will keep changing every time you log in again. And not log in, actually, if I even update the page, the screen might change. All right, so you don't worry about this. Okay, as you can see here, use a meeting code because I'm not logged in with any account, any Gmail account, being under IIUM or under a private or account. I can only join a meeting. I cannot start a meeting. So if I want to join a meeting, I just click here and I type the code of the meeting, which we have seen earlier, and I will continue and join. All right. But I'm the one who's going to invite or host a meeting. So I want to sign in. All right, so just bear with me because my laptop is a bit slow. All right. So now you can see now the screen is different. it looks different. All right. And you can see here, because I already have actually added this to an event earlier. And this is the one I just added. You see the test here. So all the meetings you have put on your Google Calendar will appear here on the day of the meeting, not the day before. So it will not show you tomorrow's meeting on your calendar. It will only show you the meetings on that day. I'm not sure whether Google will update this, but probably they will leave it this way, because otherwise it will be crowded. Let's say you have 1 week of meetings using Google Meet, the whole screen will be full. So probably they will only show the meetings on that particular day. All right. And on this screen, as you can see, now it changed to join or start a meeting, because now I can start a meeting, because under IIUM again, we subscribe to Google Suite and we can start a meeting. For private personal emails, we might not be able to do so. So I can just click here and join the meeting by a code, or I can click here to join the meeting that I already added as an event on my calendar. Before we go, let me just share with you what we have here. I don't know why Google didn't put an alt text that when you put on the, I know that when you put on the icon, you should see what is this about. Maybe they forgot to do that. So these two, this one and this one, are just for help. This one to, if you have any issues, you can send feedback to Google. And this is for troubleshooting. If I click, it will open a window for troubleshooting, like, you know, frequently asked questions and so on. So I'm not going to do that for you. I don't want to waste your time. And here is the setting, which is basically setting your audio and video. So as you can see, this is my mic and speaker. And you can see this one moving here, indicating my mic is working. And if you want to know if your speakers are working, you press on this, and now I can hear ringing tone, indicating that I'm okay in my audio. And this is on your video. I have a camera, and it is there. It's failed because I cannot connect to my camera here, because I'm already using it for Google for Zoom currently. All right. So this is just to check that your system is okay, and then done. All right. Now let me log in another account. We sign in with another account to see how your student will see. All right. So, and I will do another one from my mobile as well. So I will have many participants, otherwise it will be boring. All right, I will do this later on from my mobile. You see, use a meeting code. I cannot call for a meeting using this account. I can just join meetings. All right, on my screen, as I can join or start. I hope you can see the difference. And here I can just use a meeting code. You can't see any previous or any meetings here, because I didn't invite this account. I invited another account. But if I invite this account, you will see the same mark here or message here that you have a meeting at 10:30. All right. So are we ready to join the meeting? Yes. Okay. So now I click on this, and now I'm joining the meeting. Well, actually, I'm not joining the meeting yet. I still have to come through this window, and as you can see, camera is starting. I don't think it will start. I'm not sure. Failed again, because again, as I'm connected to Zoom. Now, there are a few important things here. Again, you can see the mic is working. I can start the meeting by muting my mic and offing my cam. I would advise you to ask your students to do so. So that for the mic, of course, you don't want everybody to be speaking at the same time. And also, some of them, they use the speaker, not the earphone. So as your voice is coming up from the speaker, it will go back to their mic and come back to the session, and you can hear the echo through the session, and everybody will feel like we are in kind of aliens movie or something. All right. So you can just start all by muting, and usually I do this. Even if I'm the host, I will do that before I join the meeting. All right, and there is one more thing that you can see if you click at the three dots. This is the two icons I explained to you earlier. This is on the settings. Again, settings for your audio and your video. But there is one more thing about video here, which is the quality of your transmission. The video quality of your video transmission. You can choose the quality. You see, this option is not available in the previous screen. It's available here. So you can choose your video transmission to be of high definition or standard definition. This is important if for two reasons. Number one, for the bandwidth. If your bandwidth is not very bandwidth, like your internet is like 5 megabyte second, or 10 or 30 or 50, the higher it is, you can choose higher definition. But if your bandwidth is low, it's better to use standard definition, because it will make your transmission slow. It will lag. If you use high definition and your internet is not that powerful, your video start lagging. You know, sometimes you are talking and suddenly your picture freezes, like I'm freezing myself now. All right, and the receive also, you say, even if the person who is presenting or transmitting using high definition, I don't want to receive high definition, I want to use standard definition. My internet is humble, I want to receive a humble resolution. All right, you can advise your students as well to do so that they don't have issues with the transmission on their side. So you tell them when you start the meeting, make sure that your video is on the lower resolution. The other aspect is because of data. If you use high definition, then it will require maybe more data, I think. And then if you are using your data on your phone, for example, it will consume it. And you know, these kind of meetings consume a lot of data compared to other sessions. All right. I hope this is clear. Are we clear? Let me check if we have any questions.
Yes.
All right.
I think there's a question.
Yes.
In the chat room on the.
I'm trying to find the chat room, but it's not coming. Okay.
So the question is, can we invite any students that are not in the list of our Google Classroom?
Yes. You can just send them the code. Anybody can join the meeting later on. As long as they have the code, they can join the meeting. That's why if you notice in actually when I did the videos for the Google Classroom before, what I did after I finished, I went back to the Google Classroom and I changed the code. You can actually reset the code. You can keep changing it. So you can keep it as it is, so the students will keep using it. But let's say in one meeting you invited somebody from outside, and then you don't want the code to be there so that they don't join again. You can just reset the code from Google Classroom. You can see this on the YouTube. So anybody can join actually, as long as they have the code, they can join. If anybody is watching the YouTube now and they see the code of this Google Meet that I'm preparing, they can join the meeting with me. But of course, because of they are from outside, they will still wait for my permission to add them. All right. So this is what we have on this screen. Here we have two buttons. One is to join now, just join, or start presenting. You don't want to go to the meeting, you want to start presenting directly. All right. So I will join now. Okay, so this is what you can see. I cannot on my video here because I am using the camera with Zoom again. I keep repeating myself on this point, just for those who are coming late and they wonder why you can't see my video on my Google Meet. All right, and now I want to, you can see here, okay, let me go step by step. Sometimes we get overwhelmed and start jumping. Let's go to the down corner here, left down corner. We have the name. This is the name of the meeting that you set on the Google Calendar. If you don't have any name, it will just be I cannot remember what will they write if you don't have that. So if I click here, there are two information, the details of your meeting. So this is the code which I need it later on. So I want to copy it. All right. So if it's say you remember that, oh, I should have invited my colleague to the class because I want him or her to share something on the class. So you copy the code and send to them by WhatsApp and say, please join the meeting now. All right, and they can join the meeting. And also you can see the attachments. You remember we said we added attachments to our Google calendars now. So the attachments are added to the Google Calendar. All right, so you will see them here. The people who are joining, or the participants or the students joining the meeting also will see them here. This is quite a good feature for Google Meet. All right, now let me go and join the meeting using this account. So I just paste and continue. Again, you will come through this, and I want to mute myself, otherwise I will be hearing my echo all the time. And I ask to join. Now, when I click ask to join, because this account has not been invited to the meeting, and because it is not under IIUM, I just heard a sound of a tick sound saying that I received this message. This person is trying to join. You want to deny? You want to admit? Of course, I want to admit myself. I cannot reject myself. All right. And we have Dr. Atia in the meeting. Hello, Dr. Atia. Oh, Dr. Atia cannot hear me because I muted myself. You cannot hear me, right? And she cannot see me as well. But maybe she can see me from the Zoom. All right. Thank you, Dr. Atia, for joining my Google Meet to make it interesting and interactive. All right. So let me join again from my mobile. All right, so I want to join the meeting. And if you notice here, I will be joining the meeting without any permission. You see, you notice I came in now without any permission because I added this email to my calendar. All right, I added this email to my calendar, so I don't need, oh, okay, I have too many supporters here. So this account required a permission. This account didn't require a permission. All right, please, I hope you understand this. Right, let me, okay, unmute myself on the mobile. Now you can see all the, these are the students or the participants in the meeting. You can actually change the layout. I will show you later on. So if I want to come out from the meeting, I click here and I'm out. If I press on this, if now the students are here, and usually what I do, I will mute myself, I will off my cam, and I will go to the chat and say, I'm here. When the class is ready, I will start my mic, and please off your mic and so on, or mute yourself and so on. So if I want to start the meeting, I can, you know, sometimes some people might not see this and say, well, how can I unmute myself? How can I start my cam? So just go down and it will pop up. And then you can unmute yourself. Now I can hear myself. Dr. Atia, you can hear me, right? Okay, now I will mute myself again because I can hear myself twice. Okay. So this is how you do that. What are the features we have? Turn on captions. Okay, so this is an interesting feature if you want. My English is not that perfect, so I don't really want to turn on the captions. Otherwise, what I say might sound different of what is typing. So I have to on my mic. So this is actually to show captions of what you say. So I on my mic. I say, Salam, Dr. Atia. See, Dr. Atia name came differently. So whatever I say will be coming out on the screen. So if you want this feature, you can on it. If you feel that it's irritating, just off it. Choose. Let me on my. Okay, especially those who are doing Arabic classes, definitely the captions will be different from what will be shown. So it's here. I'll come to this later on. Let's go to the 3 dots that we have on the right side. Again, help, report problem. If you want to join using phone, settings go back. This settings will go back to our audio and video. I don't want to click again. We already saw this. Turn on captions is also available here, as it is available here. And this is full screen. If you see full screen, you just click on it and you won't see all these bars on top. Or if you don't want it anymore, you just press escape and you'll come back to the normal screen. And this is the layout of how you want your screen to look like. So you have auto that will choose the layout for you, or you want everything to be on the side. So you can see everything move to the side, and only the person who is talking will be appearing here. Okay, so Dr. Atia was speaking, and you can see it's showing the illumination around her logo here, indicating that this person is speaking. If I on my speaker and I start speaking, then you will see. Let me speak from my mobile. Okay, now I'm speaking from my mobile, and my name or my picture will come on the screen. If Dr. Atia speak, she will come on the screen. All right, and there is one interesting feature here is that you know sometimes if people on their mic and they are just whispering, or they put their pen on the table, or we are fasting now, we cannot drink, but if they are not fasting and they are drinking, they put their cup on the table, that sound will trigger the mic, and their logo or their picture will come in the middle, and that will quite disturb. So if say you don't want this to happen, you can pin one on the. So if let's say now I on my from my mobile, now I'm using my other account, you cannot see it on the screen because I pin this particular participant. So only this participant will be appear on the screen. That's quite interesting to know, because you will have an issue when people are presenting. Sometimes your let me unpin this. Okay, so now whoever is speaking will be on the screen. When you are presenting your let's say your PowerPoint or the screen, sharing screen with others, especially on mobile, this issue appears more on the mobile. The student will say, "Oh, sir, oh, ma'am, I can't see the presentation. I can only see your video or your picture." Most probably they have came out from the Google Meet and they went to their WhatsApp and they were checking. So when they come back, sometimes they can't see the presentation. So if this happened, tell them, please pin the slide, the slide icon. I will show you this later on. All right. So this is on the layout, so you can change the layout. I want to put it auto. Let me just give Google some work to do. So now it's auto. You can choose any layout you wish. All right. So this is the layout. Now the very interesting feature we have on Google Meet, which was not available actually before March. It was activated in March to our account, in IIM account, where you can record your meeting. So if you are doing a presentation with your students and you want to record it and share it with them later on, you can just simply click on record meeting. And of course, this is for privacy. It will say that we are going to record meeting. Are you sure everybody is agreeing to it? So you have to tell your students, I'm going to record this meeting, all right? Of course, they will say yes. If they say no, if you don't like it, you can leave the meeting, all right? I'm just joking, all right? So if you accept, and as you can see here, it's loading, loading, and loading, and loading, and now it's recording. Now the meeting is being recorded, all right? So whatever I say, whatever I do, any presentation I share, it all will be recorded, all right? Now this is on the 3 dots, options that we have under the 3 dots. Now on this side, what you have is, this is your account that you are using. If I move to the second one, you can see it's a different picture because this is me on the other account, all right? And this is me on the other account. So I have many other accounts. All right, and this is the chat room. Right, so if you click here, you will come to the chat room, and you can just type and say, Dr. Atia says, salam everyone, salam Dr. Atia. Okay, let me just say Atia. Because you use Meet and Zoom, the Meet is a bit lagging. It's okay, never mind, as long as Zoom is not, because all the participants are on Zoom, that's more important. So please be patient, Dr. Atia, with the lagging on Google Meet. All right, so this is where you can interact with the students. They can, if you don't want them to use mic to ask questions, you can ask them to type on the chat or use the chat room. And this is where you can see your participants, and we'll show you the number of participants. You can, as I said, you can mute. For Google Meet, you cannot, they don't have the function of mute all like Zoom. And if you mute somebody, you cannot unmute them. They can unmute themselves only. You cannot unmute. You can mute them, but you cannot unmute them. They have to unmute themselves. So please, this is one of the differences between Google Meet and Zoom. All right. Now, the other interesting feature of this recording. Thank you. We have to be lawa lawa. This is e-learning. You know, it's on the you don't have people in front of you, so you have to prepare yourself. This is actually one of the challenges, how to prepare yourself to speak to yourself, you know, and sound natural, like talking to your students in the classroom. All right, I forgot what I want to say. All right, the interesting feature about recording, after you finish, you can stop recording. Now you stop recording. Are you sure you want to stop? Yes, I want to stop. And you can see a message. It says that a link to the recording will be added to the event, and everyone in the guest list will be given access. So because the recording, including the chat script, will be saved in your Google Drive. So the link for that recording will be available for those who have attended the meeting. So if you don't want this to happen, after you say stop recording, and now, of course, now you have to give it some time. The recording, the video, and the text of the chat will be sent to your Google Drive, and you will receive a notification on your email to say that your meeting recording has been sent to you. So this is one earlier recording I have done. So I received this email. It says that this is the Meet code, the Google Meet code, and this is your recording. You can open in Drive, and this is the video, and this is your chat. And I was having a problem with this earlier, and then we worked it out with Dr. Atia, and then it's now okay. Thank you, Dr. Atia. She is a very helpful person. All right, so actually, if I open this, this is not this particular chat. This is a previous, I recorded previously, because sometimes it will take time before it goes to your email. So I prepared this for this session. So this is what I typed in the chat room. And of course, you don't want me to on the video. It will take time. There's nothing here. It's just a test. All right. And on the Google.
Hi, I just want to ask about Google Drive.
Yeah.
Will we have, when we sign up for Meet, will we have to open up a new drive, or where is this drive from? Because it will be shared to the drive instead of personal email.
Sorry, what are you referring to? The recording, you mean?
Yes, everything goes to the drive, the Google Drive. So
it's, yeah.
Meaning
okay.
the email drive.
When you say everything, I'm not sure about what do you mean by everything.
Recording of the.
Okay, the recording. Okay, the recording will go to the Google Drive that you used to sign into your Google Meet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And of course, this is not available for others, because you must have an account or subscribe to Google Suite and request this service, or they need to provide you with the service. And actually, you like ITD must enable it, because it could be there, but they didn't enable it before. So they have to click on that particular button and say enable Meet recordings. And I hope that ITD also disabled the Meet recordings for the students, because they can record if they forgot to do that. If you notice in Zoom is different. In Zoom, you can record the meeting, and you as a participant, you can see the link or the required to ask to record the meeting. But when you click on it as a guest, the request will go to the host to allow you to record the meeting. So this is my Google Drive. It will actually create a folder. It will call Meet Recordings. So whatever recordings you save after your sessions will come here. So this is the session that I had earlier before. It went here. If I'm not mistaken, maybe by now, I don't want to open my emails. Okay. All right. So by now, the recording has been already sent to my email. Okay, so this is on the recording. Any questions so far? Any questions?
No more questions.
No questions? If we want to avoid automatically sending the recording to participants when we stop. Okay, probably you can later on go and disallow or remove the sharing from the. I'm not sure whether I can do that before. That's a good question. Maybe I have to figure out whether I can do this before the meeting, or I mean, if there's anything in the settings. But these settings usually is under the server, so we don't have privilege to control much of this. So this is under ITD. I'm coming to this. Khalila, just give me a second. This is just to introduce what do you have on your Google Meet screen. I will come to the presentation shortly. Thank you for your question. So what you can do is after the link goes to your Google Drive, rush and change the settings to make it unaccessible. So you can just say nobody is remove the sharing option. Of course, you don't have to run to rush. You can just rush to the, because it's on your computer. You don't have to go anywhere else, right? Okay. Any other questions?
Prof,
Yes.
can we use this Google meeting if we want to record our lecture, for example, without anybody attending it, and then later on we share the recording with our students?
Yes, this is one of the platforms which you can use to record your sessions. A part of PowerPoint and many other platforms, you can do that. So you can actually do that. So it should be no problem. But you have to practice it first to see how to control which screen to show and so on. Especially if you open, like sometimes you open your folders and all your folders will come out and then it will be in the recording. But you can edit if you want. You can edit this later on using some editors to blur the screen that you don't want them to see. All right. Can we host a meeting in Google Meet with phone? Yes, you can. In fact, it's just that if you are to share files and so on, it will not be as dynamic as on the computer. So if it is just like you have one file to share, maybe you can do that on the phone. But using your internet data, not your Wi-Fi, not your phone call, otherwise they will charge you. Make recording accessible. If you are familiar with Google Drive, if you have any folder or file in Google Drive, you have an option to make it accessible. You can share. Can I show this? Okay, so no, not you. All right, so let me close this. This is a file. Now this is the session that I've just done just now. The one I recorded. You see, it is on 26th of 26. This is Google time, not Malaysia time. All right. So, but this is the one I've just recorded, so it's already there in the Google Drive. So if you right click, you see the share, get shareable link, share, so you can click and make it advanced. Then you can just invite people, prevent editors from changing private, change off specific people. So I don't want anybody to share. I don't want to share this with anyone. So it's either in public, anyone with link. So this is anyone with the link, you see? So it will be available for those with the link who have the meeting, attend the meeting. So I want to off, so I see. So now, just now you guys were able to access to the file. Now I remove the sharing so you cannot access to it anymore. I hope this answers your questions or your question. Okay, good. Can you upload real-time videos recording? Upload, I wouldn't advise you. You can use the attachment just now if you want. If let's say you can save the video and on your Google Drive and share it here, then they can open it. But if you have it on YouTube, you better show on YouTube. Just have the link. Your screen is not synchronized with your oral presentation. Probably because I'm using both Google and Meet and Zoom. They extensively consume data, these two, because it's live video streaming. So I will slow down a little bit. But do I have to speak also slowly, or I can speak a little bit faster than mine? All right. So any other questions? Where is that?
Okay, so just want to highlight, Dr. Maan.
Yes.
I think there was a questions on the quality of streaming between Zoom and Google Meet. If I can help, in terms of bandwidth, Zoom actually requires a higher bandwidth, a higher internet speed. So I really encourage to minimize the use of Zoom or any streaming for that matters if you have any of the students live in rural areas or having difficulties to high-speed internet. But as compared to Zoom, Google Meet have a lower bandwidth, which means that if you want to opt for a much if you don't mind to reduce in terms of speed and quality, maybe you can opt for Google Meet. And is that, I think another question was on the time limit. Is there any time limit, Dr. Maan, as how you can actually use in a session?
Okay, thank you, Tamira. Please help me because sometimes I miss to see some questions. There is no time limit with Google Meet. We can even host as many as how many do we have? I think we have 200 or 50 or something. 250 at one time. So there is no time limit. But for Zoom, if you like Dr. Mira, CPD, they have corporate account, so they can have open time. But if not, then you have to have, like, the session will be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, and then you have to restart again. You can restart again, but it will be just a bit annoying. But for Google Meet, you don't have that limitation. Somebody was asking about Ta'aleem, Dr. Azmi. I will not dare to talk about Ta'aleem with CPD around here. Well, actually, Ta'aleem is okay. I mean, it's, as a platform, I found it quite useful. But I moved to Google Classroom lately because I can synchronize with all the Drive, Google Drive and Google Meet and all. It's just a matter of facilitating my movement between the different platforms. But what to say, as a platform, Ta'aleem is okay.
Okay. Maybe I can share on that, Dr. Man, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
Just in case there's any inquiry on whether we can still use Google Classroom in this transition or emergency period. Yes, you are more than welcome to use any platform you are comfortable with. In fact, we are not really here to again limit what platform you should use. Just opt for any platform because it is emergency period, so you can opt any platform that you are comfortable with. We will try to make the support available for you. But in fact, if it's possible, we would limit certain platform that we would recommend, just that you don't have to explore the new platform. If we can limit to iTalim, Google Classroom, Edmodo, Edpuzzle, Adobe, that would be nice, because we do have that support available for you. Yeah, so that would be the answer from CPD part. Whether you can use Google Classroom, by all means, feel free.
This advertisement was brought to you by CPD. All right. Okay.
Indeed.
There was one question about run a virtual class requires sound file screened by Honey ZR. Okay. Well, that depends on your students' case by case. So if you know your students have staying in Tamantun and they all have very good internet connection, probably better than yours, then don't worry about that. You can use videos, and you can do streaming synchronous like this. But if you know that some of them are back home, Balik Kampung, and their internet is not that fancy or not that strong, you have to customize your delivery means and tools to that. So if, let's say, somebody are really far, and let's say you have a new class, 10 of them, the internet is like hardly 1 megabyte per second, the bandwidth. I don't advise to even use live streaming. If you want to use live streaming, you limit it to like half an hour, just to share with them and discuss it. Find what is the most important thing that you want to share with them synchronously on Google Meet or any other platform, and share it with them in the shortest time possible. And the remaining you can share with them as voice, or files, as images. CPD is coming out with a guideline on what to do and what kind of means that you can use to accommodate these different scenarios. All right, but in general, you don't use large size videos or materials. Even PowerPoint, sometimes if your PowerPoint contains a lot of pictures and videos, and it can go up to 50 megabytes. It will be very painful for the students to download. So you need to go to what is called micro learning. You know, just use bits and bytes of you divide your material into small pieces, and you can feed them slowly. All right. So that will help them a bit on managing their internet if it is poor, which I guess some of our students, based on the survey done by CPD, had issues with internet in their campo. Okay, I will stop taking questions for now. I want to move. Maybe Dr. Mira can just help compile. If there's any other questions coming later on, I can go back to them.
Yeah.
Now you want to start presenting your session. We come to this important icon here, which is present now. All right, so if I click on present now,
sekarang pergilah buat sekarang ni. Bapak ni ada matematik.
Saya betul-betul tak pasti. Okay. So when you click, that was very funny, isn't it? All right. So if you click on present now, you will have two main options. One, to present your entire screen, or to present a window. If you choose to present your entire screen, you're actually broadcasting your desktop, meaning that if you open your internet, they will see internet. If you bring down your internet, or you minimize your internet, they will see your desktop. If you open a folder, they will see the folder. Anything on your screen, on your desktop, they will see. It's like you are, just as I said, you are broadcasting live your desktop. So this function, or this option, I would not advise you to use unless you want to access to the internet. So let's say you want to show them a YouTube on the internet. You can say entire screen and then show YouTube, and or if you want to juggle between different screens. So one time you want to show PDF, one time you want to show PowerPoint, one time you want to go to the internet, then that will be useful. But you know, sometimes you have to just bear in mind with your privacy, that you don't open any private files or emails, because if you are broadcasting or sharing online, whatever is there will be seen by audience. So if I, in my case, let me say a window. Okay, a window will only share one window. All right. So if I say a window, it will give me the options. These are all the files that are open on my computer. Files, folders, internet, whatever I open on my computer. So I have Chrome is open here. Another screen is open here. I have Edge is open here. So I'm quite global. I'm using Microsoft, I'm using Google, and I have PowerPoint here. I have Zoom here. And so if let's say I want to present PowerPoint, you have to select what you want to present and click on share. All right. So what you see now, you can see my PowerPoint, right? Yes, I need somebody to say yes, so I know that you can see my PowerPoint. All right, thank you. So, all right. Yeah. So what you see now is what they see. I mean, that's why I on I put it on my
we see your
mobile device.
You are presenting to everyone, not your PowerPoint.
You cannot see PowerPoint.
No, just the page where you are presenting to everyone.
Okay, let me see. The page I'm presenting. Oh, the black screen here.
Yeah.
Okay, because you are not on Google. No, but now you cannot see this. Can you see the PowerPoint?
No.
No, it's black screen only.
No. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. Because in Zoom I share, what did I share? I share the screen, so you should see anything on my screen. All right, anyway, let's not waste time on this. Let me show you what you can see me on the camera, right?
Just now there is your PowerPoint, but only just a few seconds. Then after that it goes back to the black screen actually.
Okay.
I think you should bring the cursor up to the presentation.
Okay. Never mind, it's okay. If you look at on the camera, on my video, okay, that's what the students will see. All right, that's what they will see. Exactly. So they will see the PowerPoint, because I didn't do what you call presentation mode yet. It's just on the PowerPoint, so you can see the Okay, somebody can see my PowerPoint, somebody cannot see. Probably it's okay. So that means it's probably on what you select to see, what you choose to see on your Zoom. I'm not sure. Okay, thank you. Okay. No, you are on Google because you're on Google, right? Okay, Katia is talking to me on Google Meet, but she cannot hear me. Anyway, so this is your what the students will see. There is somebody else using the mic, so I'm not sure whether you can hear me.
We can hear you.
All right, thank you. So this is what they actually see on their screen, on the mobile, and or even on the computer will also see the same thing. Now, if I go and present, you can see how the screen will change now to the present mode. Oops, sorry. Sorry. This may be lagging a bit because of internet. All right, so now they can see the presentation in front of them. All right, so this is my class. I'm teaching absorption, and this is my name, my whatever. And the next slide is on the outline. All right, and you can use a pointer. It's like exactly like you are doing on your. It's a bit slow. Okay, screen, pointer option. Okay, so I can use the pen. I can say, what happened? Okay, I lost the connection because of the load. It's loaded too many things. Okay, just a second, sorry. Let me present again a window. And where is the PowerPoint? Just a second, sorry, there was lagging here. I should have another PDF file. I don't know why I can't see it. Too heavy, the PowerPoint went off. My supercomputer is in the office. I cannot bring it. That's why I'm using this laptop, which is not supposed to be used for heavy loaded stuff. Okay. Those. Sorry, just give me a second. Let me reorganize this. This is a case scenario. You are teaching your students, suddenly everything is up with this technology.
Okay.
So be prepared for
It's
this
okay,
kind of
Dr. Man.
situation.
This
All
is
right,
a blessing in
thank you.
disguise. So maybe while you are trying to figure out that, if I can just share with everyone on our e-learning guidelines that we are currently working with a number of volunteers. Do you mind if I just unshare your screen, Dr. Man?
Let me just finish this because I don't want to disconnect. If you don't mind,
Sure.
I'm afraid that I will lose the what I was. Okay, what can you see now?
The black screen.
Still the black screen. Okay, never mind. All right. So for those who are on Google Meet, they will see actually the PowerPoint, and this is what they will see. I hope that you can see clearly. Let me take out my. All right.
Yep.
Just see my camera. I need to see my own. Okay. So this is what they can see. And I can, if as I say, you can see the pointer moving. And if I use a pen, I can write on screen. You see, yes, this is our topic. And it's like as per normal, whatever you do on your screen, they will see. And this is how the screen on the mobile will look like. They can see these three, I mean, all the participants. If you can notice here, there are two pictures for me. One is my account, and the other one that I am presenting. So this is where actually the problem always occur when the person is watching something on especially on the mobile or even sometimes on the PC, and when they come back, they can't see the PowerPoint. They see the person picture or video, and the problem is because when you come out and you come back again, because it doesn't connect when if I press it, it will not disconnect. It will just remain there. When they come back, it will show maybe the person speaking. So if this happens, what you need to do is you need to advise them to pin this. So you have an option here and you pin. So this one is now pinned. No matter what happened, the only screen they will see this. So you can ask them to pin the screen. I will share this again with you on the screen. All right. So now this is what I'm sharing with them, and I can just proceed with my presentation and show them the material, just explain and whatever, and show them all the animation on the material. All right. So that is what basically they will be seeing on the screen when you are presenting. I hope that was clear, because it's quite like using the camera. I'm not sure whether it is was that clear for you. Are we okay so far?
Prof,
Yes.
when we share the screen, like when we share the PowerPoint, so and
Yes.
then at the same time we are continuing with our lecture. So
Yeah.
in the Google Meet, it will only show one. I mean the screen, not ourselves.
You can see yourself. Can you see the Dr. Atiyah here? Can you see Dr. Atiyah's name and logo here, picture on the screen?
Yes, we can see, but
Okay.
but
All right.
we're presenting, when you show the presentation, okay, the student will only see the presentation, right?
No. Okay. Your video will be there on the side. It will be here. Okay. The problem if I on this, it will. Please ignore. This is what the students will see. All right.
Okay.
This is what the students will see. So now I'm using the other account. I hope it will not, because just now you will see many screens because of the, I'm using the same camera. All right, so this is exactly what the student will see. All right, if I go for the presentation mode, it will go as a presentation mode. And because I'm just using the PowerPoint file without presentation. Now, so if you open this, you will see the people on the screen here, and it depends on the layout. If you want the layout to show on the side, you can see the person video as they are speaking. So it depends on the layout that you choose. Actually, the layout can allow you to choose various arrangement. So you see now, you can see me here. This is my picture, but because I didn't on my video on Google Meet, you can only see my picture.
Okay.
But you can see Dr. Atiyah is here. Thank you, Dr. Atiyah. So you can see the video. Again, it depends on the layout you choose. So if, let's say, you don't want to disturb yourself with the layout, you can choose a layout where it only shows the video, whatever is presented. Just go ahead with that. So it's up to you. And then as you are talking and people are chatting, they can open the chat and check. So this is now the student screen, not my screen. All right. So this is actually the student screen.
Another thing, if you want to move the slide from one slide to another, we need to go directly to the slide. We cannot do it.
Okay. All right. On my side, what I see is this. This slide okay, let me show you from my how to show you this. Can you see the PowerPoint? No. Okay. On your side, on your Google Meet, you will see this, the black screen. But the PowerPoint is open on your computer. You can open the PowerPoint and do anything with the PowerPoint, and they see what you do. Let me show you this. Just give me a second. I understand your question. It's great. Now, unfortunately, you cannot see my PowerPoint, the file itself. This is what the students see, all right? Okay, this is what the students see. What I see is my PowerPoint file, which I opened, like you open your PowerPoint as per normal, all right? And now I move to the next slide. You see, you can see the cursor. This is what I see is my PowerPoint. I'm doing this my PowerPoint.
So it
they
means
see that at the same time.
You cannot like viewing the screen, the meeting screen and the PowerPoint at the same time. Can you see both? Means that you are looking at your PowerPoint, but at the same time you have another screen that you can look at the meeting screen.
I think
you can now. Yeah, I understand. Now I understand your question. Now I am looking at my PowerPoint. I'm looking at the Chrome, and I can open a folder, and I'm just working on my computer as per normal. What they can see is what I share with them only. I share the PowerPoint. That's what they will see. If you share window, let me stop sharing. Okay, you remember we have two options, a window and entire screen. If you share a window, whatever you shared only will be shown. So just now I shared the PowerPoint, they cannot see anything else. Let me share with you the entire screen. All right, so now what they see is my screen. So what actually they see is this, you see the black screen now, right?
Yes.
Now this is what they see, because what I share with them is my screen. So if I bring this down, this is what you can see now is my Google Drive and the PowerPoint, isn't it?
No, we still see the black.
Okay, my PowerPoint doesn't want you to see what is there. Never mind. My PowerPoint is merajuk maybe.
And anyway, Dr. Maan, is this part of the video? Is it in the video that you shared in the YouTube?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, because
Yes.
we are,
All right.
yeah,
Running out of time.
unfortunately, we are running out of time. And
Okay.
just to make sure that we have, I want to make sure we keep to the we keep to our promise that we want to make sure that only 1 hour session. Alhamdulillah, it's a very fruitful session. It's a very fruitful session.
Okay, let me just try to finalize in a few minutes, just to make sure that things are clear. So when I say entire screen, if I bring this down, now you can see my window, blue window screen, right? Yes?
Yeah, we view only the black screen now.
Exactly. And this is what they see as well. This is what they will see. So when you share entire screen, anything you show, they will see. If I open my folder, they will see. If I open the calculator, they will see the calculator. All right. So this is exactly what, when you share entire screen, they will see the whole thing. So you see, I share my calculator, they will see my calculator. I don't share it because I'm sharing my screen. So anything I show on the screen will be shown to them exactly. All right. So, and when you are done with this, let's say you are done with sharing, you want to stop, you see this, this small bar here, you can click on stop sharing, and for your information, this is movable. You can just hold it and move it anywhere. So it's blocking your way, and then you stop sharing, and then you're not sharing anything with the student anymore. All right. I think that's about it. I hope I didn't miss anything. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop it at the chat, or you can ask directly through your mic.
Dr. Maan, what about the attendance? What about the attendance? Attendance. The student attendance. If I want to take notes, yes.
What I do is I will ask everyone to type something to say I'm here, and because the chat is saved, so that is the attendance for me. This is one way that I take attendance. Because there is no direct way, if I'm not mistaken, that you can take attendance through Google Meet. So what I do is I say, everybody type in, I say, this is your attendance, type I'm here in the chat. So if you miss the type, you are not here, right? So because the chat will, before last time I used to copy the chat and save. Now I don't have to do that. It will go, it will be saved.
وين ندير الشات؟ وين بلاصة نكتب؟ وين بلاصة نكتب؟ I am here.
On the chat, in the chat room.
Can we create a proper or official attendance?
Using the Google Meet, you cannot do that. So this is the way that you can, because they already logged in with their Gmail. Because I'm using Google Classroom, so they log in with their Gmail. So for me, that's how that's how I take attendance for them.
And another question,
yes.
Is Google Meet available for live streaming on YouTube like Zoom?
Because, yeah, you have the live stream link. I've shown it earlier. I'm not sure whether you came at the beginning when I was doing in the Google Calendar. One of the options is to go live stream. So that link, you can later on link it to YouTube or Facebook.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay, so if just in case if we need more sessions on Google Meet or Google Calendar or any Google product for that matters, we do have a number of Google educators, certified Google educators in Educator 4.0. Dr. Man is one of them, right? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Dr. Mira, just one thing.
Sure.
I'm not sure if I'm mistaken the attendance. I thought the person, the brother was asking me about the attendance for how to take attendance using Google Classroom. I see people writing, I'm here,
Exactly.
I'm here. So I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about taking attendance here. I'm talking about how we take attendance in my class when I'm conducting Google Meet.
Yeah, for the staff that have joined the session today, you have been given a link in the chat earlier, and then also in YouTube, you can actually just log into the link provided, and then it will give you the link for attendance for today. But I think earlier the question was on students' attendance. So
okay, so I answered that.
The link has been closed.
At the moment, I have informed my staff, so inshallah she will try to reopen and extend the attendance link again. So just maybe try in about 10 to 15 minutes. If not, then maybe you can drop an email to training_cpd.iium.edu.my. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah khair, Dr. Main. It's a very interesting session.
I hope that I managed to deliver what is needed for this session. Thank everybody for their questions.
It's beyond our expectation, in fact. So it's really useful.
Thank you.
In the Google Meet, in relation to the attendance, can we do the same like what you have shared today, the link for attendance, like that we link to the Google Docs, for example, for the student to fill in their attendance?
Well, it's about making sure that those who didn't attend will not have the link and fill up the form. This is the issue that let me not call it issue. Let me call it a challenge. This is the challenge with e-learning when it comes to attendance and coming to assessment. I think later Dr. Lida will share with us about assessment and how to do it unsynchronously and so on. So it's the challenge is if you give a link, that link, because if you didn't keep a track of who was there, and the link goes to all the other students who didn't attend, they can just fill up the, well, we assume that ethics are observed, but sometimes it does not, or it is not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another option is to, again, allow the attendance in iTaklim, so the students can actually fill up the attendance in iTaklim. There are many means and ways, but again, let's focus on the practicality. So whichever practical for you, by all means, feel free to implement. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Dr. Man. It's a very fruitful session, and thank you so much, everyone. Inshallah, we will have another session at 2 p.m. on assessment using Adobe Portfolio. And inshallah, there will be a lot more sessions to come. As of now, we have scheduled up until 5th of May, but should you need any other assistance or if you would like to suggest any certain topics which we can cover through e-learning clinic, please drop us an email or join our sessions and then highlight during the session. So maybe we can elaborate on what would be the most suitable support we can provide for 1st of June when we start the session again. All right. Jazakumullah khair. Barakallahu fikum jami'an. Thank you so much. And let's close the session with Tasbih Kifarah and Suratul As. Again, Jazakumullah khair, Dr. Ma'an. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.